Okay. The recording has begun. So let's just start the show. All right. Welcome to another tech talk from me. Hold on. During the two previous talk, we have already discussed about the some programming in general and some about object-oriented programming using the R programming language. So now we're going to discuss another topic. Let's consider on the rise during the past few years. And as a topic that only attracts interest not only IT students, but also other types of students like engineers or business person or even designers. That is web programming. So now, in this today's lecture, I'm going to explain what actual web programming is and how you can ace this. I also show you some of the basic web programming stuff. So let's get to it. Okay, so as you know, hold that. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the internet. You may probably know the internet is everywhere. It is a global network of interconnected computer systems that enable communication and sharing information across the world. Now, as you know, the internet is in every single country around the world. Well, unless for some exception, very poor places, for example, like Nubia village or something like that, it has revolutionized the way people communicate, learn, and conduct business. And even as you know, during the recent years, Vietnam has already introduced a new type of governance called internet-based governance, where all of the processes regularly happens in paper and not converted to the internet. And include the process of making ID cards or making passport or making all this stuff. So thus, the internet is considered a must-have in today's current world. And usually to store the information on the internet, you just store them on large files. You store them on things called web or websites. So what is a website? For example, what you are seeing in here is actually from websites named Geese for Geese. And when you want to watch the video, you can go to a website named YouTube, which is a website. If you want to make friends, you go to Facebook, which is yet another website. And if you want to buy stuff, you go to Shopee or Lazada, which is yet another website. If you want to search for stuff, you go to Google, which is yet another website. So literally, nowadays, everything can be accessed by the web. You can play games, you can search info, you can watch movies, you can even study or even chat on the web. It's all thanks to web that we have the current life now. And to further that, there's a new kind of work, new type of job rising called web programmer or web developer. What they done is to develop and programming websites. So what is web programming? It refers to the development of web applications and websites that are accessed over the internet. And that process involving many steps like creating web pages, make it interactive, and all the online content to be added to the display. But the goal is having a website appear on a browser. And usually web programming are published by using a variety of programming languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, blah blah. Each of the languages has strengths and weaknesses, and the choice of language depends on the need of the project. The goal of web programming is to create some dynamic websites that are interactive and user-friendly. Because at the end of the day, when you use a website, it needs to be easy for you to use, not too complicated, not too so place to the board that it can unreadable. And these include many things like database usage, for example, like when you store when you make an e-commerce website, you need to store the data of the customers, the producers, the products, blah blah blah. Server-side scripting, for example, in client-side scripting, this is to ensure that the user can import information and the client can use the information to analyze and making some interactions with it. And the ultimate goal is the data process, content display, and just user interaction. Because on website, you just appear in front of the face without nothing to be interactive with the users. Actually, that kind of website exists, but it's called static website. Using static website is the most simplest thing when it comes to web programming. But nowadays, in order to be success, you need to know how to make a dynamic website. Static website, a lot of this are just is not enough. So to summarize, the internet is a vast network of computer servers that connect each other. It connects the world together. And web is like a part of internet where you can get information, communication, and a lot more. Just connect to your computer, open a web, and done. So that's why web programming is just a must in today's world. And actually, when it comes to web programming, you know, the salary for this job is very high. Let's give some kind of insights about what happened if you have a web. Usually, according to this Glassdoor site, the estimated total pay for a web developer in Saigon is up to $34 million. So that means equivalent to something like 1,500 bucks. After salary, like become more than 500 bucks. And it depends on the company. Sometimes some company offer as much as 106 million. That means in like $5,000, which is a whopping amount of money. Maybe you can even more than just the business and why a bunch of business and you make just only like a few hundred bucks. But just staying here on the computer and you build a website, it can bring you as much as 5,000 bucks. So yeah, being in a web developer can make you instantly rich in just a matter of a few months. So, and that's just not a joke. If you go to internet and you go to like ITVR or other stuff, then you can see that the web developer salary is always somewhere in the thousands. And that's just in Vietnam. We want to talk about other developed countries like the United States. In the United States, you can get an average base of 79,000 bucks for per year. And some companies even offer like 150,000. So that means more than $12,000 a month. And divided to 30 months and hours, that means each hour charges you $50, which is insane for a person like that. So yeah, go with a web career and you may just have enough money to buy an apartment in a matter of a year. So what does web programming is? I've just explained about how web programming, what web programming is, and how much money you can get from web. So let's get into the game about web programming. Web programming, or sometimes called web development, refers to creating, building, and maintaining of websites or web applications. These include aspects like design, publishing, programming, management, and more, and even testing. The word web development is made up of two words. Web. That means you create a website, place it, or anything that was on the internet, like example, like web app or web portfolio or something. And development, that means you build the application from scratch. That means you just install a website template and make it your own. To make it from scratch, from your own code, from a blank file to a web. And web development can be divided into two parts, front end and back end development. Here, I'll explain. Imagine a website. It's like a restaurant. And the restaurant is in three parts. The front end part is the place where you eat, where you serve, where the diners will get the food from the kitchen. And that thing is made of HTML and JavaScript, so it must be very beautiful. The next part is the back end. The back end is like kitchen, where the JavaScript chefs, Node.js chefs, and head chefs and cooks, they cook the food, they use the ingredients to convert them into delicious dishes for the customers. And the third part is the database. It's like an ingredient pantry containing all the spices, ingredients, and others to make the food for at the back-end kitchen. So yeah, if you want to remember what a web is, remember the restaurant model. The front end is where you eat. The back end is where chefs and cooks make your dish. And the database is the ingredient pantry. And in terms of technical definition, the front end is a part of a website where the user interacts directly with it. It's devoted to the client side of the application because in a website, though, the user is a client and the administrator are the servers. So a front end consists of three parts, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's one of the very basic fundamental language to build web. CSS is custom style sheet. It is a special scripting tool that build colors for the HTML. You can just take a bunch of CSS, you enter HTML, you can change a file from black and white to yellow, to red, and to others. And to make it interactive enough, you use JavaScript. JavaScript is like a programming language like Python or C++ or R. It runs on the web and it makes things more interactive. And there's also some other frameworks like Bootstrap, Tailwind, Onsen, ESH, TypeScript, frameworks like Angular, Node, React, Next, P5, and others. And as you can see, the possibilities are endless when it comes to web frontend. Now let's talk about the backend. Backend is like I said, it's like a kitchen. It's where things cook for the frontend. It's like server side of a website. It's a part of a website that users cannot see and interact with because as you know, when you are into a restaurant, you may get your food, but you can't see what the kitchen looks like. You can see how your food is prepared. Except if you're going to a Hell's Kitchen in the US, you're able to see how the chefs and the sous chef, the head chef cook your food, but you might want to see it fully. It's just really a part. And it is the portion of software that does not come in direct contact with users, because when the users use the web, they contact with the front end first. And the front end then send the information to the back end, where the back end makes the stuff from the ingredients, and the back end then return the product to the front end to the user. It's like you go to a restaurant, you order the food, you send it to the waiter send it into the kitchen. They build it, process, they cook your food, and then after the food is finished and checked, they return it back to the back end, the front end dining room for you to eat. So that's why the back end is considered like the bone of your website. It is used to store and arrange data, which is very important because a website needs data to be livelier. A website cannot live without data unless if you make it static. And when it comes to backend, there are many things to choose, like PHP, Node.js, Python, Java, Golang, C#. But now PHP is outdated. It's no longer being used. They mostly switched to Node.js and Express. And they also use Python, Ruby on Rails, Spring Java, and there are also some kind of storage database. Usually, there are a lot to choose like Postgres, Maria, MySQL, MongoDB, but mostly for some full stack web application nowadays is MongoDB. So here's the list of popular backend technologies here. So you just hear me talk about the word full stack. So what does full stack mean? Like if you have a front end and a back end, with a database together to combine all of them up, you got a full stack app. So full stack means the development of both the front and back end side is like a merge of both. The complete of a complete full stack application, that means a complete application ready to be shipped out to the customers. And being a full stack developer makes you even more money than just being a simple web developer, because web developer can be a front end developer or back end developer, but being a full stack means you need to have skills of both. So, in summary, web programming is the process of making web, to code a web, and to publish a web. And there are many tools to use it. For the front end side, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. For the back end side, Node.js, Python, Java. And being a web developer can make you money from scratch. So now let's get deeper into the game. What we're going to talk about some basic stuff in web. First is HTML. HTML is considered a language of the web. It's like Python is the main language to software, or Java, the language of mobile. Yeah. HTML is considered the skeleton, the body of the site. used by billions of sites to create the page you see every day. And in fact, you can even see the HTML code for your site by clicking on this inspect. And you can see here are all the HTML that's used. You can see this is the HTML for the site. For example, the text here is actually where things are working. For example, if you click on this link, you can even change the content. Yeah, that's how magical HTML is. You can just change the here, and it may change what you see. So HTML, there's a lot of things to consider. First, I will introduce a little bit about it. So HTML, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the standard language used to create and design web pages on the internet. It was introduced by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991 at CERN in Europe. It has involved version to the newest, which is HTML5. There's already some kind of a process related to HTML6, but so far it's not been considered because HTML5 is already the best one, so there's no need to change to HTML6. So, as the name suggests, HTML is a combination of hypertext and markup language. So hypertext is a definition for link. It defines the link between the web pages. And markup language is define the text document within the tag. So hypertext, markup language, HTML. So show you how fun and easy HTML is. You can see this is the main and so how our source code looks like. But to make it more livelier, I'm going to show you an actual sample about HTML. So let me create a new project. New file. There you can see, hey, this is what an HTML looks like. You can just open a new folder where I'm trying to create a new folder for you guys. So usually when it comes to web programming, you have to develop on the VS Code. So let's create a view file web blog. Yep. And to start the process of web development, first you need to create an HTML, name it index HTML. Usually for all websites, the index is a must name because all the website will start from this. If you build something that's not index HTML, the website will not work. And even if you host the site on GitHub, it will look for the index HTML first. So you need to start the website with index HTML. So before we start, first you need to click this HTML5, and then it will let you the templates. You can see it's first start with a word .type, that means document type. Then the HTML tags is where the website starts and ends. Is the head. It contains the character set, the name, the content, and to change your title, you can just change things in here. For example, you can make it like my first website. Now, to make the content display, you need to start first you do the heading, H1. Like for example, like welcome to my website. Industry, there's a 6 types of headers total. H1, H2, like for example, like I am ABC, something. And you want to display about the content just to the paragraph, like yep. So to run the site, you can open it with a live server. Yep. You can see this is what the result of the site. This site is running on Google Chrome, but you also run the site on Microsoft Edge or other stuff. And yeah, you know yourself a cool website. but the website is quite bland, if you just open it up and you see it's just black and white. It's not awful, is it? So don't worry, I got your back. I have something to help. Introducing CSS. CSS is custom style sheets. It's a style language used to style the HTML document. It's describe how HTML documents should be displayed on a web page. It was first by Hagen Blind, Norway in 1994, and first published in 1996. I started already a website before CSS. There's something you can make the color to be beautiful. You can just using HTML, for example, like you use it of table, or use it of form. Yep, but it's useless. Yeah, this is the form, and this is a table, but it's only black and white. So to make it colorful, we're going to use CSS. It allows web developers to the visual appearances of web pages. Usually, there are three ways to inject your CSS into your file. First, you can use an inline CSS. That means you inject directly into here by starting with what style. And yeah, here's the start. I use I generated some actual code for you to see. It's like, hey, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, but that's not a good way. The other one is internal. That mean you can add it into your like this, then to here, but it's not a good way either. So the best way for you to do this is you put external CSS file, name it style CSS, and then put the style you have here. Then it will make all, and then when you want to use that file, just need to link rel style sheet href style.css, and if you inject that and you have good enough, you will be live server. You can see a very wonderful change. Looks beautiful, huh? And by just in just a few minutes with your time, you can build yourself a good web application, but that's only a static web. So you want to make it dynamic, right? Then introducing JavaScript. JavaScript is here to rescue you. So JavaScript is the most popular scripting language for the web. It's easy, it's lightweight, it's cross-platform, it's threaded and interpreted. It is widely used for web development, both front end and back end. And it's a scripting language. It plays important roles in web browser, or in real-time modification of web content, enhancing user experience. Know that to start a JavaScript, you need to simply build a JS file from outside. Actually, in inline CSS, we just inject a CSS file directly using the script here. Yep, and run right from here. But for best result, you can create a separate JavaScript file for script.js, and then you copy it here. Yep. You can also make more statement. I am the website. Oh, that's a very funny because you said use it as a website. And then to refer it, you can just use script, src, script.js, and then voila, you got yourself a cool JS reference. Now let's run. Oh no, not this one. Script.js. No, you need to run the JS here. You can see if you can run. Actually, you can run JS here, and it gets the results right on the nose. But for best result, you can open one live server, and but you need to click on the JS in order to make it run. So there's something called, I think we call in HTML, it's called HTML button. So button is like a thing that you can use to make them stuff. You can also learn about favicon, file paths, and things. But since here I just want to discuss the basics, so I won't discuss that. You can go to internet and you learn it later. So I hope that in the past more than 50 minutes, you may have a very good insight about what web programming is, how rich a web developer is, and how to build yourself a good website. And I hope you will enjoy this talk as I do. And once again, thank you for your attention. Have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.